Alright there, I am Jameskai. Welcome back to another Digimon Adventures, and today we'll be doing something a little different than usual. We'll be checking out the Digimon card game artwork and how a few of the arts are influenced by the Digimon World video game. We'll be checking out a few of the cards, and I'll be showing you the scenes that artwork is based on. You'll be able to see what was going on in the artist's head when they made this character card. So today I've got a few cards to show you, so let's crack on. Up first is Digimon, and this should really look familiar to you if you've played the video games, because it's the first scene in the Digimon world you will see. As you can see, the house is behind them, the cardboard box they live in with the door open, and you can see all the in-training and baby Digimon behind them. And if you've played the video games, he's the one that greets you and brings you to the Digimon world. So we'll check out the scene in the video game. Your character you play as is in the middle, and there's Digimon with all those Digimon around them. How cool is that? Really paid attention to the scene, didn't he, the artist? The scene takes place in Foul City, which will lead us straight into the next card, which is Tanaman. As you can see, she's in a meat garden, digging out some meat for her hungry customers, which is just you and your Digimon, really. The scene's a little dark if you think about it, because she's got Digimon meat and there's only Digimon in this world, so is she murdering Digimon and then selling the meat to other Digimon? Just something to think about there, guys. But let's check out the scene. If we make our way behind the Foul City house, which is a cardboard box, you will see her with her little meat garden here, and you just talk to her and she'll give you meat every day. It's that simple, and that's how such a lovely Digimon she is. But this will lead us into the next card, which is Black Gatomon. And you're probably thinking, she wasn't even in that game, and you're correct. She wasn't, but there's a little hidden reference to the Digimon World game. If you take a look, she's holding a meat in her mouth. And if you have a look at the shadows, who she's staring at, on the left you can see Palmon, in the middle Regimon, and on the right Tokomon. So we have a look at the Digimon game. You can see Tokomon in their box, Palmon, and there's Regimon there, all running the shop together. So what's probably happened? Black Gatomon's broken in, grabbed some meat, and she's got cornered by all three. No idea where she's ran off to, doesn't look familiar, that scene, but it's pretty awesome. How do you reference that? That is why it's always good to really analyse your Digimon cards. On to the next, it's Gatomon, and this is an awesome one. There's a few in BT5 that reference the Digimon World game, and it's so cool how they've done it. If you don't recognise this Gatomon, it's the first Digimon you fight in the game that you recruit to the city. He will open up a bank, but as you can tell, that you know this is from the Digimon game is what you can see under them. So there's one of those text boxes on the ground, and right where the text is, there's one of those Digimon plugs in the ground you see around the world. So I couldn't get him by the sign, but as you can see, there's the plug socket right there at the bottom of the screen. He just comes right at you, so you don't even get a chance to run around him. And then, as you can see, there's the text box, which he's running across right now. How awesome is that? It's an awesome little reference to the Digimon World game. And staying in this area, we'll move on to the next Digimon. Let's head south down the forest, and let's see who's next. It's Palmon, another BT5 card. If you're wondering how this is a reference to the Digimon World game, if you remember when you first see a Palmon to recruit to your city, see the little flower heads around there? Well, in the Digimon game, there's an area where you see these heads, and she's just chilling right next to them. So as you can see, there's a head. There's a bunch of heads around here, and there she is just chilling. I believe this is a reference to the Digimon game. It's the only time in the game where you see all these heads in this area, and there's a Palmon there. It's an awesome little reference. Don't know if you had noticed that one either. Really love how they've done this one. Now let's move on. Let's stay in the same area, but move up a bit north, where we can find this Digimon. You'll find Kunamon in a bush, just chilling. Doesn't even get angry or follow you, just chilling there. But as you can see, this is that said bush, and he's holding a mushroom. Now, just not a bit up, you can find a mushroom, and what you gotta do, you gotta give him some food. I gave him a mushroom, so I don't know if he only accepts mushroom because he's living that vegetarian lifestyle. Let me show you the parts in the game. So here's me and my Digimon, and there he is just chilling. Ignore my Digimon, he's got some needs I need to attend to, just ruining the scene for me. What a load of shit that is. This Kunamon card is a reference to this scene, and this bush has a lot of meaning. This bush can do all sorts of things, like digivolve your Digimon into a Kunamon, and make your Digimon want to shit. And that's really it of this bush. So let's move on to the next card. Heading from bushes to the sea now. If you head a little south from where Kunamon was, you'll come along a beach, and at a certain time you can find a Colomon. You can see its shadow in the water, and if you get closer, He will talk to you and let you know about a bridge is down, and he'll form a bridge himself with the other Gatomon, which you can see jumping in the background with him. You can tell this is a reference to the Digimon game where you jump over him. Let's take a look at the video. You both chatting, you get into a conversation with him, he swims off and he comes back with a few friends. Now they form a bridge for you to, I don't know how he does it, it's amazing how he does these massive jumps, doesn't even land on their heads. And he's gone. I think it's an awesome little Digimon reference. After this part, you can go back to the same spot and you can recruit him for your city. He opens up a little shop too if you're interested. So on to the next card. Heading so far in the sea, you'll hit some ice, and this is where you'll find this nightmarish Digimon. To recruit this nightmare, you gotta beat him in the game he went pro in 20 years ago and still plays it, just to shove it in your face how good he is. So this is Penguinmon, and as you can see, he's got something in his hand that might look familiar if you played the Digimon World games, and it's even his colour as well. He's red and you play blue, and this guy does not go easy on you at all. He's a savage. He cheats, he smacks yours out of the area, makes you go first, so he's always going last. He just knows how to whoop your ass at this. So let's look at the clip of him beating me again after feeding him a fish. He's like, hey, you're pretty good, even though I missed with one of the claw ones. So he throws his, this is the picture really, he's just chucking his ball, and this is how good he is that he can get good on his first throw. Look at my terrible bad throw there. And as you can guess, you won this game because I'm terrible at it. But this is what the reference is. There's me crying my eyes out because I know I've lost. This Penguinmon card is a reference to that game. Just remember when you play him, he cheats, he's savage, he doesn't care. As long as he wins and he gets your fish for doing it, and he knows it and he laughs about it. He called me terrible in the next round. But on to the next card. Here we have Meromon. He's cooking up a storm. He's flambeing, and he's like, I know, I'm a fire Digimon, and I cook. Surely you'll recognize this scene from the restaurant in Digimon World. So Meromon is one of a few Digimon you can find in the restaurant, as well as Gatomon. But this card's called Meromon. Let's take a look at the video. So where I am with Skullgreymon, we're walking down, there's Meromon, and there's Gatomon. Different dishes from them, and as you can see, my Digimon does not want any of it. After all that flambeing he did in the kitchen, yeah, that's Meromon for you. Back in the kitchen where he belongs, because he's a fire Digimon and he knows a thing or two. I think it's really random that Gatomon's in there as well. But on to the next card. Who could it be now? Here we have a Gatomon. This is from BT6, and this might not be a reference. It could be, but I believe it is. So let me show you what I mean. So as you can see, he sits in the water fountain feature in the game, which is in the middle of the city. And in this card, he is looking at a water feature, like the fountain. Doesn't exactly look like it. To me, that's what I can see. It might not be anything, but that's what I thought it was. Let me know what you think about this one. This is just one of them, really. So on to the next card. Now it's time to go shopping, and the best place to go is the Meromon shop, where you can be ripped off by the new trainee. Here's Meromon, and if you remember this scene, to recruit him you have to play another little mini game where you become a sales assistant. You got to make a good amount of profit before they'll join the city, but we'll go a bit more detail into that other bit in a sec. So here you can see him just chilling. He asked you to come around and to start selling for him, because before you came in his shop was booming with customers. But what I really love about this Digimon card is the detail they've put into it. So right behind his tail you can see red and silver boxes with stripes, and you can see the store shelves right behind them, and that's how you know it's this exact scene here, which is just impressive how they've done it. Definitely Digimon fans who have made these cards. But this will lead us into the next card, which is Weedmon, and he's got a look on his face going, how much for this meat? And Meromon is like, yeah, good deal. But as we know, this is what happens when you get a bad deal, when one of the Digimon come into the shop and you don't like the price you offer. So if we check out the video, you'll see what I mean. So there's me standing there going, is that a freaking dinosaur looking at me right now? And here comes Weedmon. Boy, I want some meat. Welcome. Let's raise the price. And he's not happy about that. And he thinks I charge too much. And I'm like, well, I'll raise the price even more. And he's still not happy. Well then, what will I do now? I'll raise the price again. 50 bits. And he's fed up. I'm wasting my time with you. You are indeed. I wasted my time with you. And he walks up the shop and he ain't a happy customer. That's what this card is about, is when you really annoy the customers. And as we know, the customers are always wrong. You will know that if you work in retail. Inside joke there for you. This brings us to our last set of cards. Let's see what they are about. This brings us to the final two cards, and if you don't recognize these two bad boys, then you never watched the opening to the Digimon World game. If you remember, there's two kids in the park playing with the Tamagotchi Digimons, and your character comes up and he says, "Wow, Metal Mummymon, there's Metal Greymon, how cool!" Then it gets all fancy and we see a 3D battle of it, so I'll let this part play and you will see what I mean. Back then, that was amazing. The graphics, the realism, wow, that blew my 7-year-old mind. Just to make things diamond clear, that was awesome. These two cards are based on that fight from the Digimon game. Black Metal Greymon vs Metal Mummymon. Getting goosebumps from watching that. This brings us to the end of the video. But wait, there's more! I have even more Digimon cards which reference the Digimon game, which there's so many of them. These are just a few more I have, which if you enjoyed this video, I can make another video on. Oh wow, look at all these awesome cards. These last few are ones I think could be references, but we will see. If you enjoyed this video, let me know, and I'll make a part 2. As you can see, there are cards to make a part 2 with. These are the 12 cards we covered today. If you remember, we started with Digimon and we ended with the awesome fight at the beginning of the game. Thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed this new type of video I've made today. If you're new to my channel, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it all. And hopefully I'll be able to chat to some of you in the comments. Let me know which one's your favourite. If you think I've missed one, let me know. The only one I didn't show was the Metal Greymon Secret Rare. Stay tuned for more Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh openings to come. If you really did like this video, leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more content like this. It'll make things diamond clear for me. So I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.